Hey, good evening. Welcome back to my little gardening show. We're out at the garden. We're making some progress on getting things ready for the first planting. Temperatures are rising. I probably hit 75 degrees today at least. It's pretty warm right now. The downside with that is that the insects are starting to come out. So there's noticing mosquitoes, other little insects, which means that some of the pests that we're going to have to deal with, like the stink bugs, things of that nature, we're probably going to see them sooner. And that's kind of what happened last year. Last year we were, because of the weather, we weren't able to really get much of anything in the ground until late April, and that kind of coincided with all these insects coming out, whereas the year before we were actually able to plant a lot sooner, kind of early April. And so we actually, and maybe it was sooner than that, into March, beginning of April, and to the point where we were able to start getting like cucumbers and squash and stuff like that a lot earlier before those bugs hit. So I anticipate it being a little bit of a challenging year with that, in terms of when we're able to get stuff out relative to when the insects are coming due. At least that's how it was last year. We didn't fare as well on that stuff. I could be wrong, because we had a pretty harsh winter. It was pretty cold. We had a fair amount of snow, sub-zero temperatures, so it'll be interesting to see how things play out. Well, I take you along. First thing I want to show you is the greenhouse and how things are doing there. All right, so I got my daughter fertilizing everything. Ruthie's in there. Nice and balmy in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Which the peppers and tomatoes are loving. Right?
78 degrees.
78, 80 degrees. Probably need to adjust this flap at this point where, again, it's kind of counterintuitive. I'll be loosening it out to drive that piston closer to the beeswax that's in here so that it will open this thing up further. Probably need to adjust that down so that we get some side action here at some point. Maybe not right away, but definitely this one. So the peppers and my tomatoes are looking real good. Nothing died.
I know, they're doing really good.
Yeah, they're doing really good. So I'm happy about that. The warm weather's really helping. They're really taking to the pots pretty well. This is my eggplant, actually. These are peppers, all kinds. Got all kinds. These are cayennes. And based on last video, what I tried to do is, a section of 9. So these are all cayennes, I know. And then here's red ties. So looking forward to it. Here's all the cold weather stuff. They've really taken off.
I know, they're huge.
Which is nice. These are nice, healthy plants. We're going to get those in the ground. They're going to have a nice root ball on them. They have a lot greater chance of surviving. Right, baby? Bud, what you doing, bud? All right. Let's go down to the garden, bud. All right, we're walking down to the garden here. Give you an update on the fencing project. Strawberries have come back nicely. And most of these plants in the cement blocks are perennials, so they came back. A lot of them did. That's kind of cool. But these are looking real nice. We got some starts of strawberries, which we'll have those in June. We got a crop of turnips that were left in the ground, and so consequently they've gone to seed. And you can see they're developing the little pods there. Those will fatten up and then they'll dry out, and we'll have turnip seeds. One thing that's amazing is just how prolific vegetables are when they actually put out, they go to seed. I mean, each of those pods will probably have 8 to 10 seeds in it, maybe more than that, depending on how long they are. So they're, just one plant's going to produce hundreds of seeds. We got a whole crop here, and the honeybees are liking that. We got some bees that are foraging. It's important to have some stuff like that for the pollinators early season like that. So having turnips or something else that's going to put out a nice flower where they can get some pollen is a good deal. My rhubarb is going to seed again. That putting up seed stalks. What we probably need to do is cut those stalks off if we want to focus on harvesting rhubarb. This will be the 3rd year. Hopefully we'll get rhubarb on it. Last year my son butchered the plants, so I just left them alone so they could survive, but this year I'll be a little more careful with that. Alright, so here's our new fence. Went out, got some of this. It's a lot nicer than that deer fencing we had. Got a 150-foot roll, did half the garden. We're not going to have any kind of entrance on this side. We got 2 poles that are setting in cement right now. We're actually gonna have like chain link gates that can open and close at 2 points on each end here, and then a big gate in the middle that basically we can remove manually if we want to get leaves in the future. Like we want the dump truck to be able to pull in, we can remove like a 12-foot section of fencing. So it should be pretty nice, and then we're going to cordon this area off, so I'll be left with about a 50 by 50, 50 by 48 foot fenced in plot to do stuff in. And in the areas that aren't fenced, we can do other stuff like corn or flowers, or do some kind of cover crop, kind of play around with it. What do you think, child?
Looks pretty good.
Should be pretty good, huh? What do you think, baby?
It's kind of weird that we have like 3
I gotta
fences
show you something right there.
Really? It is kind of weird, isn't it?
all on one side.
Hey, look at this, right? So,
Hey, do you know, I don't, if there's bees up there, don't mess with
in
it.
that last tree.
Let's see. This tree? Oh,
No.
there
Yeah,
might
in
be a
that
little
tree.
hornet's nest up there.
But not in this one, because we smacked it a lot.
Let's take a look.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Stop it.
No, in the next one.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, if there is, we're going to want to take care of that because we mow grass. I don't want to be running a mower down here and then running into some hornets.
Yeah.
It could be, maybe they're attracted to these flowers on the trees.
Daddy, there's one.
Yeah, I think they're just they're getting pollen. That's what they're doing.
They're not doing anything.
I don't know, that looks kind of like an angry big bee, so a little hornet. All right, we're not going to take any chances with that.
Watch this.
All right, while the kids are motivated, I've got them weeding the garden.
Daddy, you're not working.
I am. I'm getting ready to get the Haas tool out. We're going to get the Haas wheel hoe out and try to help them a little bit. But there's not a lot of weed sprouts yet. So we're going to go ahead and get those eliminated if we can. Some of them are perennials. So it's going to take a couple applications to get, you know, the weeds under control as far as continuing to cut them off till they run out of steam and go dormant. But we'll see what we can get done tonight. All right, so we made some good progress tonight. We got a lot of the open area here weeded. There's a few big areas where there's just a big swath of grass that we either need to tarp it or take some of the extra mulch and mulch it really deep to try to kill off the grass, get it to go dormant. Ideally kill it off. So I don't know, we'll see what we can do, but we're gonna go ahead and take off for tonight. We got a little homeschool open house this weekend, got some things going on. Hopefully I'll be able to get out here. Our goal is to get this fence done. Might need to get a few more things to accomplish that, and then ideally get a couple beds laid out, and then we've got just a ton of stuff to plant. We got our onions, all those cold weather crops that you saw up in the greenhouse, peas, radishes, lettuce, basically all the like springtime stuff. Get that all planted, and then hopefully by the end of May we'll be able to harvest some of that stuff. You know, some of those crops are about 4 weeks where they start to get a decent size, 4 to 6 weeks, so maybe it's going to be early June. We'll see how things play out. So anyway, I guess that's it for now. Until next time, happy gardening.